just so small.
Where it just jettisoned.
Hey there, this is the Small Stuff Podcast. My name is Kyle Roebuck. This is the intro. Let's start the show.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Small Stuff Podcast. I hope you're having a good day or a good night or whatever. Before we jump in, make sure you're following the Small Stuff Podcast on all social media platforms that we're on. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. There's always some I forget. Follow us on YouTube, or subscribe on YouTube. That's the right word. Subscribe on YouTube, share the channel, share the podcast, all the things. Follow Roebuck Visuals on Instagram if you want to see my photography work. Follow Brighton on Instagram. And follow Jacob on Instagram. How are you?
Single needles.
What is it again?
Sith and single needles.
We'll put it in the description.
Yeah.
Description or show notes. Jacob Sloan. How are you?
Good. Great.
Good. What do you do?
I am a professional body piercer at Gary Skin Graphics in Winterville by Pitt Community College. I work there. I've been there for quite a while. Anything piercing related,
You do it.
that's me.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
So we were talking just before we hopped on. I was just talking about how I'm tired and sleepy, and you were talking about how you're a night owl. And I was going to say that's probably something that just comes with the job you have.
I get off at 9 every night, and I work like kind of more like second shift.
And you don't have to be at work until
1.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 p.m. So I leave the house at 12:30 every day, 12:30, depending on what I have going on. But I get home and I'm still up for quite a while just because that's my time to wind down and chill, and catch up shows, play video games, stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
How do you get into? Do you decide you want to be a piercer, or
Honestly,
is it just like something you kind of fall into typically?
It is not for everybody. It's really not. I kind of looked into it because I had some friends that I was hanging around at a small tattoo shop where I'm from, which is in Williamston, for a while. That turned into one thing that I was a tattoo apprentice, and then kind of just fell into this. I got a job offer working over at Gary's, and as you know, that's a pretty big shop in Greenville. And doing body piercing. At the time, I was dirt broke, like living with my mom, making like $30 every 2 weeks or so, just being an apprentice, doing here and there. Yeah, just really like all in. Like either this is gonna work for me, or I'm gonna. Yeah, Did
you just find that piercing was more your thing than tattooing, or what?
I had kind of an adept to it because before I even worked there, I had stuff on myself that I was never too scared to try much. Yeah. So like I would do stuff on myself, or like
don't try this at home.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah, but yeah.
No, I'm just saying. Yeah. I mean, but no, it worked out for you, but I'm just saying it might not for someone else thinking about doing it. Don't do that.
You kind of have to have the constitution to hurt yourself a little bit, and the will, for progress a little bit. But I stretched my own ears and stuff like that, and that's kind of where it started. And
that's what fucked me up, by the way. When I was talking to you before about my ears, that's what I tried to stretch them myself, and they just were not ready.
Dude, I've blown my ears out like, oh my God. Like I have a crazy story. Like right before prom, my junior year, I was like, hey, I got these cool new plugs. I'm wearing to match what I got going on and everything. Put them in the shower, trying to be smart. Pop, straight big cherries. Like have awful prom pictures because I refuse to take them out, and like my ears are blown all up. It's awful, but I'll never forget that. And I got home, was like they were so angry at me, and just
mine got like, sorry guys, trigger warning. Mine got this. I think it was this year. Got like pretty infected. It was bad. I was in denial for a little bit, and I was like, all right, I need to go to the doctor.
I've got a pure chunk missing on the back of this one just because it was bad. I was dumb, but like being a kid,
don't do this at home. Go to a piercer.
Yeah, absolutely. Hindsight's 20. Like now, looking back, I had no money, so I had to. If someone fall out, I lose a plug. It's expensive, so you have to find whatever you can to make sure it doesn't close up. You know what I mean? You lose a plug, and you're gonna have to drop a size.
Yeah.
because you have to find what you have. But anyhow, just dumb kid stuff.
Yeah.
But no, I looked into being a piercer. I had friends that were really cool. Like I had one friend that gave me a good recommendation. That's really what it is I was able to know people that were cool with me and were able to look out and pretty much. And that's how I got the job. And I, realized what I had a good thing and kind of stuck with it and been there for a good while.
So did you kind of like study this?
I took an apprenticeship.
Well, I mean, like as a kid, you're saying you did a lot of this stuff yourself. I'm saying as a kid, as like a teenager. Did you do a lot of like research online and stuff, like trying to learn about it?
As much as possible.
Was there anything when you actually became a piercer, when you started apprenticing under a professional piercer, that you went, shit, okay. Like things that people might not realize are things that you yourself, even as someone who'd done the research, was like, oh shit, okay, I get it now. I see, or that's not what I thought that was going to be like.
Yeah.
I know that's a very vague question.
No. Well, I guess in more aspects of the job as a whole, like you kind of get this notion of, trying to find a way to articulate it that doesn't sound crazy. The job, it's really more being a people person. And it's not even that, it's just tolerance. Because the job is cool. And if I ever get burned out, it won't be because of what I do. It's going to be because of the people.
Yeah.
That
makes sense.
But because they dictate your paycheck, they dictate if you have, because I work completely off of like, if nobody comes in, I don't get paid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's good to have a good word of mouth and stuff like that. But I in no way thought that people were gonna like that style would affect my money as much. I thought that it was gonna be not necessarily an hourly kind of thing, but like more so.
You just expected to be able to do good work and be that.
And it'd be steady and yeah.
You didn't expect to have to be really good at customer service.
Exactly.
Like no matter
which all the jobs I had,
what kind of shitty person comes in and
absolutely.
Yeah.
And the jobs I had were like bagger at Food Lion, stalker at Walmart, stuff like
so
that.
You didn't really have to deal with people.
No, because no.
Even at Food Lion, you're like, "How you doing?" All right, cool.
Yeah,
like,
more of a grunt.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what are like some? So I mean, like the obvious question I think that a lot of people have for piercers is like, what's the weirdest shit that you've ever done? Like, because like people get a lot of weird shit pierced. I'm saying weird, and it's not because I'm judging. It's just different, and you do you. But I'm never gonna have a Prince Albert. That's not gonna happen ever. No. Negative.
It's not for everybody.
And again, by all means, do you, dog. But it's not. No, right. I'm not comfortable with that.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's people all the time come in and cringe. They'll look at like lists of stuff, services, and whatever.
Oh, you have a list?
Yeah, I have a list that I wrote out a while back of like prices.
This is what this means. Really?
Yeah. Like, well, sometimes I have to kind of, because people, you'd be surprised people that come in that don't know what a navel is. You know what I mean? Or like, I say lobe and they're like, what? And they look at me funny, like
your earlobe
or nostril. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, my nose, and it's crazy. Public school system is.
So like, what's the
craziest thing that I got a guy that comes in and he's an older guy,
a regular, huh?
A regular. He's a really cool dude. Like
multiple dick piercings. Oh,
like
for real?
He's out there, man. He's really into like. Ooh, he's into some stuff.
Okay.
That he goes to conventions and stuff, and he's into. Read between the lines.
All right.
He's a super cool guy, super nice. And there's always a undisclosed. If I've got to handle your stuff, you're gonna tip me, and you're gonna not make it weird.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And because that's like. I need to write it on the wall. It's only weird if you make it weird.
Yeah.
And but
also,
he comes in.
if I touch your tip,
right?
Give me a tip. That was dumb. That was a bad joke. I thought, you know what? I was like, don't say that. And then I started saying it, and I was like, it's too late to turn back now. You just got to say it.
Dude, it's at this point,
Ugh.
what saves me with stuff like guys like him is it's never been sexual for me.
Yeah.
It's just a job. You know what I mean? It's never been sexual. That's I'm able to disassociate that, you know, and that has saved me. Like, because there's some stuff that I've dealt with that is fucking gross, man. Like smells and people.
Oh, man.
People like you see, like just go into Walmart and look at how gross people are walking around, and think of those people coming to see me.
Oh man,
and I deal with that, and I can't be like, no, you're gross. I don't want to deal with you. I can't do that. That's just not professional. And,
yes, yeah, I guess.
But I try to maintain professionalism at all times, and like again, it's that I can disassociate it. You know, one thing from being sexual and not, and that it's a world of difference. Like for him, he's got. I'll just run through what he has and just give you paint you a picture. Do you know what a PA is?
Yes.
He's got like a 2 in his PA, which is like that thick.
That is large. Holy
a 2.
shit!
And
that's got to weigh like
he's got
half a pound.
He has an acrylic piece in it because it's heavy.
Okay, that's smart.
He's got 10 rungs in his ladder.
What does that mean? Heads up, everybody! I didn't give a warning at the top of this one. Yeah. I didn't think about it. This is gonna get a little graphic. Yeah, just go ahead.
10 rungs in his ladder, which are
just right up the shaft,
underneath all the way down. And then he has like I want to say it's a 4 or a 6 in his guiche.
His what?
His guiche.
What is it? What's a guiche?
It's between your butthole and your nuts.
Oh, we've called that. I've always called that a gooch. I've called it a gooch. Yeah.
Yeah. It's well, the term is. Gooch.
Oh God, this one's. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put like a hey, look, man, don't listen to this with your kids.
Yeah, make sure they don't think I'm a weirdo.
No.
Nobody don't talk about stuff like this.
Yeah.
But no, he's again super cool guy and he never makes it weird, so I don't mind. You know,
that's just a lot.
You gotta think like if you sit down on the toilet too hard and everything, because I know I have my PA done, and if I sit down on the toilet too hard and it hits, it fucking hurts, bro.
I bet.
Like that skin between that metal.
Yeah.
You know, for instance, you know when you're lobe and you have a metal tunnel in and you flick it.
Sure. Well, honestly, I didn't have my shit pierced that long.
You know how bad your plugs can hurt like that sometimes. You flick it against it.
Yeah.
It sucks. But anyhow, dude is a beast. I mean, he's super cool.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. There's no.
The crazy thing is,
I couldn't do it.
You walking past him in public, you'd never know. Like you would never expect it.
Like
ever.
like a Bill Gates kind of guy.
Exactly.
Really?
Like really really clean beard and facial hair. Very good, attractive dude. You know, he like really nice guy. I mean,
Okay.
A little older, super nice guy. Anyhow. I can't say how nice he is enough because he's awesome.
Right.
We've had some cool conversations and but yeah, you would never think it. It's so awesome.
That's so much.
But
you know,
honestly, I get more. I'm trying to find a really.
I imagine your more everyday stuff is like
nostrils and tongues.
Yeah, nostrils and tongues and navels.
I get stuff like that. You know. Once a week or so, you know, but people they're not lined up getting that stuff done.
Yeah.
And to be honest, and this is going to make me sound really weird, but
it's kind of surprising to me that that kind of stuff comes in once a week.
It's pretty often.
Wow.
Not like crazy often, but
yeah.
Anyhow, I've gotten to the point now, I've almost would pierce guys rather than pierce females because
it's probably weird.
Well, not even that. It's almost to the point where guys are more clean. It's so bizarre. You would think it'd be the opposite, but guys tend to be more clean than females.
That's interesting.
And it's just my experience.
Yeah.
And everybody other piercers may be like, oh, he's full of shit. But that's my experience, you know?
That's not what I was thinking. I was thinking that like you're like super cool, but like I don't know. I was picturing it like someone in the room making it weird, and you're like, "Hey, man, this is." Stop.
I've had to like kick guys out because they've been in there with their women, and they're like some big
Hovering
I've got
over
the
you?
giant, biggest dick in the room, and he's like, "Oh, you touching my girl, I'll beat your ass."
Really?
Oh yeah, dude. Like just just glaring at me
Shit
the
like
whole
that.
time.
It's like you chose to come in here.
Right. And sometimes they don't come in, and it's cool when they come in, they sit in the corner and they're supportive.
Yeah.
But I've had people come in before and they're trying to make out while I'm like setting up and stuff. And I'm like, hey man, can you give it a minute?
That's
I
crazy.
try to be as polite as possible, because
Do you guys mind? That's not really sanitary.
or just like,
That'd be
man,
my
you'd
excuse.
be
Like,
surprised, man. Yeah, especially I don't even work downtown. I know some of them folks like the other piercers at the shop or whatever, or them downtown. They probably get drunk folks, and I'm so fortunate I don't have to deal with that. I get college kids, but most of the time they have their barons about them,
right, because they have to make it to the other side of town.
Man,
Yeah.
But it's a fun job. It really is. I'm very fortunate to work with really, really kind and crazy intelligent coworkers. I actually used to get tattooed by Bill before I even worked there, and then I just wound up working there. And anyhow, just like Bill, Caroline, Marco, Preston, and my bosses, they're excellent people, super smart. Just oh man, like Bill is he's a college professor.
Right.
I mean, he worked at ECU for he's like 15 to 19 years in there or something, and now works at Pitt. Super smart man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, just kind as can be. Yeah.
Yeah, he did a lot of my arm. So
You can pick his work out of a lineup. It's so crisp and
down.
yeah.
Yeah, so he did all this down here.
Yeah, I can't say enough about how cool my coworkers are and how fortunate I am. But it's a cool job, man.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of benefits where, I don't get stressed out going to work. I never am like, fuck, I gotta work more.
That's key, man.
Yeah. And that's really what we're trying to find, right?
Yeah.
Is being happy with our day to day.
The key is the biggest key is being able to find joy in whatever it is you do. Like if you have the ability to just work a job and be
life,
cool with whatever job you're in, that's awesome. That's got to be an amazing life. Like you're happy.
Yeah, man. I'm really fortunate. I have a really good home life. We're not married, but we're pretty much married. We've been living together for a long time.
You're getting married, aren't you?
Yeah, we're
Not
getting
to put you on
married.
the spot.
No, we're getting married.
I thought you mentioned something.
Her name's
to me
Kim.
about-
She's my doggy mama. She's amazing. She's beautiful, brilliant. Just works hard. Oh my God, she's way out of my league. Absolutely, way out of my league.
Yeah.
But I definitely scored when I met her, and I think this year's going on 5 years. I'm not good with dates. She'd probably hit me in the back of the head right now, but
it's not.
she's amazing human being, just absolute soulmate. But yeah, and
Same here.
I've lived in Greenville for a while, and I've known some really
Some assholes.
yeah, man.
Yeah. There's a lot of those out there. You get lucky, and me and her, we knew each other for a while before we ever started dating, and it just kind of it kind of came out of nowhere. Like nobody was really expecting it to happen. Like we shocked everybody who we worked with.
It's awesome
at the time, and we definitely. I mean, if I had thought that we'd be here like now, it's like if you had told me that I don't know 6-7 years ago, no way.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's what. That's insane.
Yeah, like looking back 5 years ago and thinking about the things I have now and like where I'm at in life now, and absolutely, yeah. Because she's from Philly and moved down here with her parents, and she lived separately up there with lived by herself, and she moved down here to be close to her family, and we just happened to meet, and
Life's like that.
yep, it's really weird, right?
You ever sit back and think about like what I was saying before? I do it a lot lately just because I have a lot to reflect on. Like just here lately, things have felt really good. I'm not going to say that things are good, but things have felt. I felt like this is great. Like things feel good.
in a good place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I sit back and think sometimes it's crazy that 2-3 years ago, I was like, man, I just want to get to this point. I just want to get to this point and I'll be good. I'll be happy. And I'm looking, I'm like, I hit that shit 2 years ago.
Right.
And I'm well past it and still trying to move forward and get to greater heights and stuff. But, I'm happy where I'm at. I'm learning to just kind of
take it day by day and just chill,
and reflect on like how crazy and lucky I am. Like that things just kind of happened like they have. And it's great, man.
I take it day by day. I don't stress too much about tomorrow. Make sure everything's. I just try to be as chill as possible. Yeah, exactly.
Just chill.
Just chill out.
Yeah,
but yeah.
People are. I meet so many people who are just like. It seems like they're itching to fight, like all the time. They just seem so amped up.
And
just real defensive about everything, and just don't know how to really just be calm and let things just roll off their back. You know?
No, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm no like Gandhi or whatever. That might be a good reference, but I'm just saying, like I'm not always super chill and calm about everything, but I think overall, my blood pressure says I'm doing great.
Right.
Yeah. Where'd you grow? You said you grew up in Williamston, right?
I did.
Beach Boy?
No.
Is that
Williamston is about
Williamston?
30.
I'm thinking of Wilmington.
Yeah, Wilmington.
I'm thinking of Wilmington. Yeah. I get the W's mixed up all the time. Williamston's just past Robertsonville, right?
Yeah. Right before you get to
Post.
Janesville. Yeah, Hitching Post is in
Yeah,
Williamston.
we used to eat there after church.
I think the famous place there is like Sunnyside. Like apparently, everybody loves Sunnyside.
Oh no.
Yeah, I've met people like in other states, and they're like, yeah, you live there, you got Sunnyside down there. And you're like, how the fuck do you know?
How do you know that?
Like, yeah, no, I hate oysters. That was never my thing.
I don't think I've ever had an oyster.
It's like it tastes like
That's
where
a
you
lie.
get. Yeah,
I have.
you get them out of the sound, they're gonna taste like muddy salt.
Yeah,
muddy like snot. I think they're gross, but people love them. My mom used to love them. My mom still lives there in Williamston.
Mm-hmm.
She lives out in a little. If you're from Williamston, you're gonna know a little community outside of town called Farm Life, and it's like a little. It's called Farm Life.
Okay,
it's like in the woods, pretty much.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, before you get to Washington, that's where Mom lives. Just out in the woods.
Yeah, Williamston. I never really. So
there's nothing there.
Yeah, I never went past Robertsonville really,
unless you ride horses and or something like that. Because there's a huge equestrian program out there.
Oh yeah. They
did
did the rodeo out there, right?
Yep, the Ag Center. They built that when I was growing up, and it's gigantic. I had a buddy that worked there, and it's gigantic, and it's really cool.
I want to go back to that.
They have shows out there. They used to, anyways.
They still do the rodeo.
I'm pretty sure they do. I'm pretty sure because there's that's about us all there. To do anything, we would always come to Greenville. Yeah.
I think that no. It was just rodeo. That was in Raleigh.
Are you from here?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm from here. Do you know the racetrack in Robertsonville?
I do.
So when I was in 9th grade, I think it was 9th grade, we being my dad, actually, I don't really know what the deal was, but I know that we had control of the business that was the track. It was in a bad way. Like it was just like not great. And my dad had been a director out there for a while, and the person who was running it before stepped down or something. I don't know. We took it over. We did a lot of the work. We ran it for like a year.
That's really cool.
Yeah, looking back, it's cool. It's cool to be able to say that, but back then,
you were part of a racetrack. That's cool. That's like every little kid's dream, man.
Well, Not when you're cutting all the grass and weed eating and everything. Yeah. We were
manual labor.
It was like a family team kind of thing. Like we ran the concession stand like during the race and stuff. So like I was down in the pit concession stand, helping run that. I mean, I was like 13 or 14 at this point, 14 probably.
Right.
And
got you working early.
Yeah. Yeah. It was cool because like I had money. Like I felt like I had like money,
awesome.
I had like I was like, well, I got like $70, man, like in 9th grade.
That's
a lot of money in 9th grade.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely is.
Yeah, so like
you were a king in school.
They gave us a cut of the concessions and everything, and paid us a little extra than the other people in the concession stand because we actually did work like during the week too. So we like I said, we picked up all the trash and stuff after a race. It was. I'm not gonna lie. It was terrible. It sucked.
Really,
but it was. I think it was good. It was a good experience to have.
Formulative years.
Character.
Help you. Yeah. There you go.
Built character. I learned how to have a heat stroke and just keep going. That's a joke. No, yeah. So I never really went past Robertsonville.
Right.
Like I went to Williamson a few times, but I don't know much about it.
Where'd you go to high school?
North Pitt.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
I'm guessing you went to high school somewhere in Williamson.
Well, yeah, Williamson. Well, I was like the second to the last class. They changed the name there. My nephew, when he went there, it was like Riverside Knights or something like that.
Yeah.
And now I was Williamson High School. I graduated in 2009. And like it was that for another year, and then they changed it. And
How old are you?
I'm 32.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think.
So
32.
So you're a little ahead of me. I just didn't know if we knew any of the same people, maybe, but
Maybe.
I doubt it.
I don't want to name drop up here.
Nah, I doubt we did. I doubt we did
Sounds
because
pretentious.
you were out of high school when I came into high school.
Oh yeah, what year did you graduate?
2012.
12.
Yeah. So, anyway, yeah. So you started. You did the apprenticeship in Williamston,
Right.
as a tattoo artist.
Originally, yeah.
Originally,
yes. And then
what was
where I was at?
What happened with the switch? What made the switch?
Well, whoever was the apprentice in that shop at the time took over all the piercing stuff. That's just how it was.
Mhm.
It's like everybody that came out of there had a little bit of piercing knowledge, just
Gotcha.
because, yeah, that was the apprentice's. Probably in hindsight, probably not the best thing to do. Hey, you're a tattoo
don't-
apprentice. We're gonna
You
throw
don't know how
this
to
on
work.
you too.
You don't know how to work with needles.
Yeah,
We're just gonna
Let's start you off with this.
start you off with just one needle.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is level 1 for tattoo. This is one needle, and then you build up to the bundles.
and this has to go through their body part perfectly,
Yeah.
or you're fired for something that's not even related to what
And
you're here
sued.
for. But no, it really they were all pretty chill. Other than some mild hazing and yeah, but it
Moving
moved to
from
that.
the-
Yeah, moved
yeah.
from that, and I'm so thankful now that it sounds crazy because it's tattooing is always seen as so much cooler than piercing, but it just is. But like, I'm kind of glad that I don't have that stress to have to come in, because I see my coworkers, they come in a few hours early every day because they're so booked up to draw for everybody. I'm like, man,
It's definitely
like that's y'all love your jobs, because that's y'all are coming in early to do that, and just that's really just not me.
Yeah.
And I'm happy with what I've got going on.
there's a few extra layers to what they do, I'd say.
Absolutely. But
Like, you
without
all
a
have
doubt.
to deal with body parts and shit that
for 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah,
And then,
you're probably. I'd say you're probably are more often going to see, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Private parts. I don't know. Genitalia. Things like not normal body parts, like your everyday body parts. You're probably going to see that stuff more often, I would guess.
as a tattooer, I would
No,
say
as
so.
I was going to say as a piercer.
Oh, well, I mean,
I don't know. Like, how many people are
nurses,
get-
I guess, and like they have to deal with stuff like that.
No,
But
I
it's
just
really
meant
not.
like piercer versus tattooist.
Oh.
Tattooer.
I don't know. They ever have to see anybody's junk like that.
That's what I was saying.
But no, it's not.
There's some trade-offs.
Yeah, I mean, it's not crazy often like
Yeah.
that, you know.
They have to come in a
Like-
couple extra hours. You have to touch a couple dicks a week.
Yeah, well, no, that makes it sound.
No, I'm just saying, like, they have to do this and you have to do this. There's some
Well,
trade-offs.
there's definitely some times
it's
where
fine to
like,
recognize it.
one of my coworkers is like, "Yeah, I'm glad I don't have your job," or like,
Yeah.
"Yeah," but it's not that often, and when it does, it's a small blip on my radar. You know what I mean? It's
That's got to be real confidence inspiring for all the guys who go to you. Yeah.
No, I would never embarrass anybody like
Yeah.
that.
Of course
But
not.
it's one of those things that I don't even think about that much. I really don't. It doesn't happen as often as you know. I mean, I do them, but it's not a big deal in my day to day. You know,
Right.
it's just not.
Yeah.
It's not even a. I don't know how to put
Do you?
it.
So do you want to? I know you're kind of going day to day, but I always ask people, like, where do you want to go with this?
Where I want to go?
Yeah, like, do you want to do it, like, make it something more? Like,
Yeah.
do you want to maybe
I don't want to
switch
do
over to
this.
something else or what?
I don't think I want to do this forever. You know, I don't want to be 40, 45 piercing people still. You
Yeah.
know? It's a good job for right now. It, does what I need it to do, you know. I really just, there are other things I want to do,
Yeah.
but
I mean, what are
Nothing-
what are your passions?
man, I'm a really simple guy. I
Like if you could do something.
I like
you-
video games and motorcycles, man, and I wouldn't mind working something with motorcycles down the
Yeah.
road, or like I'm not a good mechanic. I
Yeah,
can
me
fix I can fix basic stuff and do some things, and with a YouTube guide.
Yeah.
I am definitely a YouTube mechanic.
Mhm.
I am at complicated things. I asked my boss because he's brilliant. He's absolutely the best Harley mechanic.
Gary?
Probably no, his son Jason.
Oh, okay.
Just a brilliant man. Easily probably the best Harley mechanic in Eastern North Carolina, if not.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just used to own the business. Super smart guy.
Mhm.
I mean, anyhow, he still does stuff on the side now, and whenever I have a question, he's kind enough to be like, and not be like, no, you need to do this, stupid.
Mhm.
No, he's like, no, man, this is what you need. This is how you go about it. You fix it by that, because things break,
Mhm.
and I'm stupid. I break stuff because I can't leave anything alone, and he's awesome, and he helps me. But I'm not a mechanic, like
Yeah.
bare minimum, stuff like that. And I would like to do something with that. I absolutely love motorcycles. It's been a part of my life for pretty much my whole life. And my dad rode, and I've been around stuff like that.
You ever been down?
Have I wrecked stuff?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was gonna say, have you ever laid
I
a
have
bike
not
down?
laid one of my, with the exception of I have my Road King. We got into an accident on Arlington one night.
Mm.
We were going, me and Kit, my wife.
Oh wow.
Guy pulled out in front of us. He was trying. It was coming down Arlington, going to Ale House, and he tried to make a U-turn, missed his gap. Cars were coming too much. He couldn't get the gap and just stopped in the middle of the road.
Oh.
I slowed down the best I could. I knew that if I put my foot in the back brake, it was going to go sideways.
Yeah.
Because it's a big bike.
Mm-hmm.
And I waited to the exact last second to just to get into it and put it sideways and kind of save it.
Yeah. And just kind of like.
And we bumped into I wouldn't even call it. It wasn't that bad. It did more damage to the bike. We were fine. But I did hit the back of his car because he
So y'all just ended up like slid into the car.
Pretty much. And there was nowhere I could go. There was traffic. You'd been down Arlington right there, like coming here.
Yeah.
Like right there,
Yeah.
right by all those offices on the left, like right before you get the play date, like right there.
Okay.
Past play date, actually. Yeah, I was angry. I was so
Yeah.
angry. When I
I would be
realized
too.
the first thing was like, while we were sliding, I put my hand back to grab her to try to help her,
Stay on.
buffer or whatever. But once I realized she was fine, that was it. I lost it.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't put my hands on him, but he was scared.
Yeah.
I was mad, dude.
Yeah.
But,
I can't say that I don't know, man.
But I
I haven't been in a situation like that, so I'm not going to speculate on what I may or may not do. But
instant adrenaline rush. But
Yeah.
I've done stuff with like dirt bikes. I've hit trees with dirt bikes. You know what I
Damn.
mean? Like stuff like that. Knock myself out.
Yeah.
Dumb stuff like that.
I've been thrown off a 4-wheeler a couple times.
We
I
actually
did lay a bike down, by the way.
really
Yeah. It wasn't mine. I was coming too hard into a gravel driveway. I was coming too fast.
it just got it from under you.
Yeah, and I realized I was going too fast because it was dark outside, very dark, and I realized I was going too fast. I'm about 3 feet away from the driveway.
As soon as you hit the brake, probably. It just-
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
scary.
I was hitting the brake and realized I was still going like 35, about to hit this driveway that's like a 30 degree. Like I have to turn 30 degrees to go back down the driveway.
Right. Did you
You
get
know
hurt?
what I'm saying? Yeah. Pretty sure I broke a bone in my foot. Never went to the hospital for it though. Yeah. The bike was okay. It was a Sportster. Yeah, there was like a small scratch on the handlebar because basically it landed on my leg.
Right.
Like I kept it off the ground because I'm huge.
Right.
A Sportster is basically a mountain bike to me.
Yeah, we have a Sportster at the house, and I look like a clown riding it.
Yeah,
Like,
even the 1200s that are kind of
That's what
sort
we
of
have.
a little bigger. Yeah, you still look dumb.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the bike was actually okay. The shift lever was a little bent, but we just took a jack handle and just put that back and it was fine. Yeah, the bike was good. I was fucked up. I still have scars on my arm. Like they're not as visible as they used to be. Right here.
Right. Yeah.
That spot right there was the bad spot. That was like
yeah.
packed
Probably ripped the
with
skin
dirt
off of it.
and gravel. No, there was still skin on it. It was just a bubble of dirt and shit that I had to just work out of my arm. It was super nice.
was a good learning moment, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't hit driveways too fast.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
We actually not too long ago sold our 4-wheeler. We had like a newer Rancher.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the big red ones. I mean, it was nice. Hondas are indestructible, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my God, I put that thing through hell. I rolled it probably, I know 3 times, and my mother-in-law rolled it once, and we thought it killed her, and it was a bad situation. We were screaming, "Hey, slow down, slow down!" And she took a curve too hard. I cringe. You know those moments where you cringe about it.
You see the wheels coming up. You're like, here we go.
Yeah, and I'm just like, man, I've killed my mother-in-law.
No.
I've killed my mother-in-law. Like, they're gonna blame me.
Oh no. Oh no.
Like, it was so scary. And she's fine, but she had a couple bruises. But just cringe moments. Like, I'll remember that for the rest of my life, just cringing.
People who grew up with stuff like that, I don't think I have a tendency to.
I grew up with 3-wheelers where there's no banking at all. If you turn too hard,
right,
you're rolling.
Yeah, you kind of if you want to turn fast on a 3-wheeler, you have to like lean forward and to the opposite or into the turn really hard.
Really scary. But grew up with stuff like that in 4-wheelers, so I know better not to take a curve when you're top heavy.
And you forget that. Not everyone knows that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that was her downfall.
Yeah. Not everyone. You're just like, yeah, it's super easy.
Yeah.
Just hit the gas and go. Like, just turn the handlebars where you want to turn.
I let a buddy of mine ride. He was sitting in front of me, and I let him drive. He never drove before, and that's exactly how we rode it. I was like, when you come up here, I was trying to get when you get up here, slow down so you can curve, and I didn't get it out of my mouth.
I can tell you, as soon as I realize he's not slowing, I'm dipping out. I'm bailing.
Oh man,
I'm gonna hit the ground either way, but I'm gonna hit the ground away from this 4-wheeler. Good luck, bud.
I trusted him, and he's a good friend of mine, and he didn't mean to, but it was probably my fault too for letting him drive because and being that encouraging. But anyway, he's an awesome human being, and just he didn't know any better, and he was all right. And we were a little banged up. I dislocated a rib.
Oh, shit.
But after a while, it eventually popped back in.
Oh.
And I had to, for a while, take a paper towel roll and put it here and just try to put pressure on it.
You were just trying to push your rib back in?
Trying to put my rib back in. And
did the doctor, did you go to the doctor?
No.
Okay.
I had one of my customers, he's an EMT, and he came over. I laid down on my tattoo chair, and I laid down and kind of, he dealt with it, and he kept feeling like, what does this feel like? I'm like, hurts.
Yeah.
And he would check me out from time to time, and the first time he touched it and moved it and everything, and he's like, yeah, that's out.
Yeah.
So
you dislocated a rib.
The last time he was like, somehow it worked its way back in there and it popped back in, but over time I would literally take paper towel roll.
You were just like, I'm just gonna push this bitch back in. We're not going to the doctor.
No, as much as possible. Whenever I was home or walking around the shop, I'd have it just sitting there, just kind of slowly doing this, and it hurt so bad. I would literally go home and lay in the bathtub on my back and let the water just
take pressure off.
Trying to, but I'm so big in a tiny bathtub.
Doesn't that suck?
It sucks, man.
I want a huge bathtub.
You know what's even shittier? I have a jacuzzi tub in my house,
and it's tiny.
And no, it's huge.
Oh, okay.
It fits me and my wife easily.
Oh, nice.
But it's this deep. You get about here, and the hot water starts running out, and then the rest of it's cold, and it doesn't have a hot water heater doesn't have enough capacity to heat the entire thing.
Tell you,
so it's a storage device.
I'll tell you a little growing up in a trailer, little trick here. Just get a big pot of water and boil it.
I've tried that.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work. I've tried that. That was my first thought.
2 very big pots of water.
3.
You're like, no, you don't understand. I've really tried this.
And then the whole stove. I have tried. I have absolutely tried. It doesn't work. It cools it off instantly. And dude. Just wasting water for no reason.
Well, I tried to help you.
Yeah, it's a storage device now. It's got the cat litter and stuff in it. One day I'll buy another, because you can buy little hot water heaters to stick in there, and it's got a little spot for it. I just haven't done it, and one day I will, and we'll be able to enjoy it.
Yeah.
But then we'll probably move out the next day.
That's what people don't realize, man. Being big is just, we were talking about with the motorcycles. It's like,
everything I own.
People are like entry level Harley. Like you can get you an entry level Harley for I don't know how much they are now. $8,000. They got to be $8,000 now.
10 to 8 in the ish, depending on what you get.
Like a Sportster, you can get the 883. They still making that? And
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The small one. Get the entry level one. A normal person can do that.
Yeah.
Someone our size can't do that.
Yeah, I have a
And you could say, well, I mean, you could look goofy for a little while, but also I don't know that thing is it's not gonna want to carry us down the road.
It does. The Sportster that I have is actually hers, and it's hers. It carries me just fine. It's quick.
Really?
It's pretty quick.
Highway speed's okay, or is it
Dude,
top out?
I can get 100 easy.
Oh,
Easy.
really?
Yeah, dude. It fucking goes.
Oh,
It's
scratch
a
what I said.
little
Then,
1200.
just because I don't want to look stupid.
Okay. It's a little 1200. It's quick, man. And but it is absolutely the smallest bike we have. Like everything else I have is just giant handlebars
Right.
and just.
I've seen your bike at the shop. It's nice. I like
16-inch ape hangers and just.
That's what I want
stretched
for the next
all
one.
Next time you come to the shop, my lowrider, you should sit on it. It's stretched out, like
Totally
it's
down.
like forward controls where it's like it's like that,
Super relaxed.
and then the handlebars are like here. Not everybody likes that, but I do, and I'm stretched out riding the whole time, and everybody else that sits on it's like, how do you ride like this?
My buddy's got oh shit, what's his bike? Softail Deluxe.
Nice.
It's kind of an older model.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like
Like a 10.
Yeah, something like that. It's right before things started to get like where like this is a car on two wheels, man.
I think he still has the big twin because I have a Road King too, and
he had a Road King before this.
It's got a big twin in it, and I love that bike.
I think his is like an 1800-ish, maybe 1700, something like that. Maybe it's bigger than that. I don't know. I just know it's a big old bike.
Right.
And I do know it's Softail Deluxe. I don't know what engine it has. I never paid that any attention. But it's got the leather saddlebags, the studded leather saddlebags. It's green. It's like the green and tan or green and silver maybe.
Right.
Color scheme. He's got the.
They always say green. My boss always would tell me that green bikes are bad luck for some reason. I'd never heard that till he
his
told
bike
me.
is beautiful. I want it bad. He's got the what do they call the fishtail?
Yeah, little fishtail pipes.
Yeah, pipes. Yeah. And I rode it. I rode it for the first time probably a year ago. And I mean, I'd never been that comfortable on a bike, and I'd never felt like I've had bikes that are like with big engines, like 1800s.
Right.
And I know that his was in that ballpark. And so it was just way more powerful than I thought it was going to be. It felt very torquey. Like it almost wanted to pop a wheelie, And I don't know if that's because he's got apes on his.
Right.
But his aren't like super high. That's what I was gonna say was when I ride his,
like
his are right here. Yeah. Well, they're not mini apes to like a normal person like him. For him, he rides like this, like he's up here, but I'm so much taller than him that it brings it down to almost shoulder level for me.
Right.
And that's a comfortable position because they're actually the angle back a little bit because he's got the big windshield.
Yeah. See, mine are perfectly vertical.
Yeah. And I like the way that looks.
It looks.
But
clean
I'd also
to me.
love a windshield because I feel old now. Because if I ride a bike without a windshield, I'm like, what the fuck?
This is complete my bias, and not everybody feels this way. But when I think of badass biker, like a badass biker's bike,
I know where you're going.
I don't think of windshields and fairings. I think of just handlebars and headlight, boy. Just that's it, and just wind.
I agree.
And none of my stuff has a fairing or a windshield on it. It's just big headlight, big handlebars. That's
However, for a long trip, I do not like getting beat up.
Man, my Road King
I
ride
used to
down the
do
road is like riding on a recliner. It is literally like
You don't really feel the wind.
It's not really. Well, I do, of course, but like it's such a smooth riding bike. It's gigantic.
Yeah.
I've got a really comfy seat on it, big old bucket seat with my whole butt fits on it.
Yeah.
And it's just that the handlebars they're ape hangers, but they're still like right here. They're
not super high.
Yeah, my hands don't get tired. They don't go numb or nothing because they're above your heart or nothing.
Yeah.
And it's literally riding in a recliner. The big old foot pad, like the floorboards.
The floorboards, yeah.
Yep. And I got highway pegs on it so I can stretch out. It's no problem. I've rode pretty far on it and no problem.
I used to think that having handlebars like down here looked like dorky.
They're kind of cool. Like the bikes,
the more I think about it,
like the land, I'm trying to like how
it looks like what I think of when I think Indian Scout, like the
the new
that
new
type
bobbers
of
are so cool. The little Scout bobs
that
things.
that type of bike looks cool as shit.
does.
And so now I'm like, take the windshield off your bike and let your handlebars be down here, and it looks cool, man.
It just looks aggressive. That's what it
does.
is. It just looks. That's all it is. It looks aggressive.
And when your handlebars are up, like I also like that, but I've gotten to where just as I've gotten older, I'm just like, I don't know, man. I like this here. This feels comfortable, and also as long as they're not like those stock gross bars.
They say that if you're like, I've had people tell me
cool.
that with my ape hangers, if I hit something, I go through them, like when I go through, it'll break my hips. I've had multiple people tell me that, like because you go,
I could see that.
Like,
I could see how that might happen.
It's cringy.
Maybe just keep that in mind so that whenever that does go to happen, you just think twist.
I'm gonna try to tuck and roll.
Just think twist. Yeah.
Yeah.
Think twist so you go through so it just like,
Yeah. Split second of
just like hit your stomach, hit your butt, and you're you're good.
Survivability is not great. But you just I ride.
You're
like,
on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
So
I ride like I'm invisible. Like I ride like no one can see me. Like no matter if I make eye contact with them, because I've made eye contact with somebody, and they still pull out in front of me.
Yeah,
it happens all the time. But
people don't realize how fast bikes are going. Typically, like if you don't ride and you don't pay attention to bikes that often,
if I'm coming home and I see somebody pull up to the stop sign, I slow down.
Did you ride here?
Not tonight. I will tomorrow though, because it'll be beautiful tomorrow.
Yeah.
I about did tonight, but I was like, when I leave here, it's gonna
cold.
Yeah, cold.
I made the mistake one time. It was still early on, like when I first started riding. I went to my buddy's house. It was a beautiful day, but it was like those beautiful days. It's like 73, 72, something like that.
But the wind.
It's not that bad when the sun's out and it's pretty great. And I was in jeans and a t-shirt. Actually, I might have been in shorts. I might have been shorts that day.
I ride in a t-shirt pretty often, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so do I. So do I. Like when I'm not
wearing all that crap, man.
Yeah,
I'm not going to be hot like that.
I'm not going to sit here and pretend that if I go down, I'm not going to get hurt. And I'm also not going to say that jackets and shit don't help.
It does.
But it's going to fucking hurt regardless.
You're going to have a damn heat stroke riding down the road,
I'm just going to aim. I'm going to aim for the ditch.
Yeah.
And just hope I hit some soft grass.
I'm just gonna knock on wood. I'm just gonna try not to wreck it all.
Right. Yeah. That's yeah.
I'm not wearing all that. I'm just not doing it. I'm not wearing all that stuff, man. All the pads that these guys wear. You call me dumb all you want, but to me, riding a motorcycle is having a good time and enjoying yourself. I cannot enjoy myself sweating. Just can't do it. Not like that.
I still want. That's the worst.
It's the
Being
worst,
stuck in
dude.
traffic on a bike in the middle of the summer.
Bike?
95 degrees, and you get stopped at a light that you know is going to be long, and you're just sitting there baking.
And my lowriders pipes are short stack pipes, so they're like right here. So I'm just
you can't tell if you can't tell if your thighs are touching a pipe because everything's just so hot.
It's just miserable.
I've almost like popped my kickstand sitting in traffic before and just got off and walked away for a second. Like fuck.
No lie. I'll depending on the light, because coming through town, you know what lights are like.
Yeah.
I'll pop that bad boy in neutral, and I'll stand up
and
just hold it between my thighs and like just get off of it just for a second. Anyhow. But just little things.
What I was gonna say is it was one of those days. It was just like beautiful, and I rode over from my buddy's house, and I stayed like pretty much the whole day.
Right.
It was dark when I left, and I didn't realize I hadn't been outside at all. So when I stepped outside, and it was like 9 p.m., I was like, fuck, because it was like 63 degrees, which. If you're outside in jeans and a t-shirt, actually, it was probably more like 65 or something. It was good. It was like you walk outside and you're like, it feels great outside. But if you ride a motorcycle, you know that anything below 70, you can go fuck yourself.
Dude,
I'm not doing it.
Until I started riding heavy, and riding back and forth to work, I never looked at the weather. Now,
so cold.
Now, every day I look, I'm like, and I look at like what time I'm leaving, and then I look at like what time I'm leaving work, and I look at those temperatures, and I'm like, I can ride tomorrow. And I'll get in my truck.
I screamed the whole way home.
Dude, I've got caught in the rain. Last year, right when it started to get cold and the nights were dropping to like 49 in there, it started raining one night, and I was free. I was just miserable. I was cold because I had my leather jacket on, but like I wear jeans, and I'm dumb and don't wear long johns, and I have boots on, but like what gets cold is your neck and your thighs, and then it's raining, so oh my god, it was just miserable.
What's the worst rain you ever got caught in?
Dude, pouring. I was coming through town one time going to get some lunch, and it like just flash
Mm-hmm.
rain and
Yeah.
pour. Like when I say pour, I mean like buckets.
Mm-hmm.
And I was soaked sitting, and I was stuck at the stoplight, just getting rained on. Nothing I could do. I found a buddy of mine. So I was like, "Hey man," I pulled up to his house and literally texted him in his front door, like, "Hey,
I need to come in.
yeah, can I come in and can I borrow your shirt?" I literally like rode back to the shop in my wet jeans with one of his shirts on, and went next door. Luckily, I have a laundromat next door,
Mm-hmm.
so I got a pair of shorts out of my cabinet that I left in there. Just you never know.
Yeah.
Everybody has to change clothes at work,
Right.
so I threw that on and I walked around the shop in my socks for about an hour until my shoes and my pants dried because they were soaking wet.
That's funny.
I was so pissed. I didn't even get food. I was so mad. It was just a bad day.
I was at my mom and dad's house helping them with something, and they live out in Pactolus.
Okay.
And I was on my bike that day, which for anybody who doesn't know, Pactolus is about 30 minutes away from the middle of Greenville.
I want to ask you something after you get done with that. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So I was on my bike, the last one I had, and I started heading home, and then Crystal starts calling me.
Right.
And so I stop at Lee's Country Kitchen, which is
I know
a
exactly. Yeah.
little old gas station that still has a grill inside that is pretty much all it does, and it's a convenience store and grill. It's really good.
Country ham's on point.
Oh yeah. It's right down the road from my parents' house. My phone was vibrating, and I was like, she knows what I'm doing, so why is she calling me? Let me answer.
Right.
So I pull over and I call her, and I was like, "What's up?" And she was like, "Are you like close? Like, are you okay? Are you in the?" I was like, well, hold on, "What's up? What's going on?" She was like, "It's like pouring down rain," and I was like, "Not here, it ain't. Like, not 15 minutes away from Greenville."
All right.
And she was like, "Well, it's pouring here," and I was like, "All right, good to know, great." And so,
Did you let it pass, or
no, I kept going because I was like, maybe I can get around. I don't know which way it's going. Maybe it's going away from her.
you always think you can beat it?
Yeah, I'm like, I can get around it or something. I did not get around it. By the time I hit Hastings, coming up Greenville Boulevard.
Oh no!
By the time I hit Hastings, it was
and you still had the whole way here.
pouring. Yeah. I had sunglasses on, and so I took those off real quick because like it's not sunny anymore. I can't see shit. Also, I have the fairing, so a lot of wind's not getting to my sunglasses. So any water that's hitting them, it's just staying up there.
Right.
So I can't see shit. And so I take the sunglasses off, and now I'm sitting there doing this because now the rain's getting in my eyes. Like I'm blinking, and I still can't see shit. So I have to duck down, like below my fairing, so that I can go 30 through town and see. I make it as far as that old Wells Fargo that's being turned into a dentist office, I think.
I know what you mean. Right there by the speedway and the.
Yeah, I got there and was like, "Fuck this," and I turned into Wells because I was like, I'm gonna die. So I turned into Wells Fargo. It was that bad. It was like hurricane rain out of nowhere.
Yeah,
So
that's exactly what happened to me. Yeah.
I turned. It might have been the same day.
Look, it got so bad one night. I was on the way, like it wasn't even raining. Just there was water on the road, and I didn't have a fender on my front tire on my lowrider, and just because it looked cool.
Yeah, it looks cool.
But the whole ride home, I had to ride like this, like that,
because it's just flinging up a rooster tail on your forehead.
It's right here, yeah. And literally, I got home, and as soon as it stopped raining, I was like, "I'm putting this."
Yeah.
I bolted it to it, and but no, like what was I gonna say?
When I left, think about it for a second. When I left Wells Fargo, there's more to this.
Okay.
So it was. It let up for a second. That's why I pulled over. I called Crystal. I was like, "I'm okay," but it hit me. I got the whatever. I'll be home in a little bit. So I waited for it to die down a little bit, but then I was like, I'm not sitting here for an hour and a half, however long it's going to take. So it died down a little, and I took back off. By the time it died down, it's still raining. I make that left onto 14th Street, and then the right onto Red Banks. Right there. And Red Banks, that particular portion of Red Banks, gets very flooded. And so
it does.
As I'm on the way home, I run into this. I have nowhere else to go. Like I can't go anywhere. So I'm just like, all right, whoa, and just like boated through this stuff. Like I had water over my ankles. I was like, I can't let off the gas because this is definitely covering up the end of my tailpipe. Like it was like.
I drowned a Mustang like that one time. I had a Mustang GT, old 95 with the big like 305 in it, and I come down the road on a road that never floods, and I hit it. My intake sucked up a gallon, like 2 or 3 gallons. Yeah, said my cold air intake had like 2 gallons of water. Yeah, just bent push rods,
Locked
donezo
immediately.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But,
you were going to ask me something when I said Pactolus.
Have you ever seen the Pactolus lights? I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I've never seen it, and I'm not. I've heard people have seen it or whatever. I'm also not one to believe in stuff
Right.
like that. So with I told you I worked with Jake.
Right.
So our main thing when I was working with him, and still his main thing, is
Paranormal.
ghost hunts. Yeah,
That's cool, though.
So I went on a lot of ghost hunts, and there were a lot of creepy moments, but never anything that made me go, like, "Whoa, that was a
Right.
ghost."
Right.
It was a whole lot of
definitive.
like, it was a whole lot of like, I don't know what that was. That was fucking creepy.
That's
but-
all I've seen at Pactolus is there's.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. It was weird, given, but I don't know what it was.
Yeah. And I'm just like, most of everything we encountered, I could chalk up.
Have you ever been
Mostly.
to Diamond City? Did you ever check that out?
No, I never went there.
Now,
with him.
Diamond City, I have seen stuff out there. Like,
Really?
without
Like
a
what?
doubt. There's a couple stories. I've seen the swinging light.
The swinging light.
Swinging light.
What's the swinging light?
Apparently, there's a story about a train conductor or a circus or whatever coming out. You know, these are all hearsay.
Was he looking for something with a
Looking
lantern?
for yeah.
And then he got hit by a train?
Something like that, where the train overturned, or one of the stories is the train overturned for a circus, and one of his Black Panthers got out, and he was looking for it, and they never saw him again, and he's going up and down the railroad. You know,
That's what I heard.
Hearsay.
I heard something about that.
There's-
I thought that's what the Pactolus light was.
There's the red demon thing in the chops of the trees that throws sparks at your vehicle and cuts all your stuff off. Just stuff like that.
Huh.
I've had situations like that where we've been out there and everything just goes dead. Phone dies. Everybody's phone stuff dies.
Really?
I mean, this is my experience. You can call me full of shit if you want. But
No,
this is
I
what's
mean,
happened.
all
This
right.
is things that have happened to me out there, you know, in the middle of nowhere, because it's a grid. That's
Yeah.
what it is. It's a huge grid, and it's just nothing but like that, like the downtown area
Uh-huh.
of Greenville,
Uh-huh.
like how the streets are.
And
That's what it
where's
looks
this
like.
at?
It's Diamond City.
North Carolina?
Yeah,
Is it
it's
North-
in
okay.
between Janesville and Washington.
Okay.
It's humongous.
So
And
it's not that far.
no, not really. It's maybe about from here, maybe 45 minutes ish. Give
Yeah.
or take. But
Never heard of it.
everything in the vehicle died. It wouldn't cut on. All our phones dead. No, nothing. Only thing we can get to work is like a flashlight for about
How convenient.
for like half an hour. Or we get out, walk around, and check everything out. By the time everybody is almost starting to freak out, everybody's stuff starts working again.
Huh.
It was really bizarre.
That's weird.
It is really weird.
That is weird.
And
I would be riding around after that looking for like a transformer or something, like something that
there's-
might have caused everything to die.
there's nothing out
'Cause
there.
that's
though.
me.
The only thing out there is an old building that used to be a hunting club stuff,
Yeah.
but so bizarre.
Yeah.
So bizarre. And
That's
what's weirder is it'd be different if it was like just my phone and or just the vehicle, but it was like 5 of us.
We had something happen that was like, it was probably the scariest moment, and it's gonna sound like I'm bullshitting when I say this. It was only the scariest moment because everyone freaked out. That's
It's actually
what
so long. I gotta fucking fix it.
like yeah, mine's getting there. I gotta get mine. I gotta fix my shit.
Gotta do that. It keeps
I'm
getting
starting to
weird.
look a little disheveled.
Oh man, I look homeless.
Yeah. I've been letting my hair and my beard just grow and like do whatever.
Yeah,
'Cause
I got pure my old rings. I ran them through the autoclave, and I've got like little rings in my hair where I got a couple dreads. So like in
Okay.
my dreads, I'm putting captive beads in it. So it's like I don't know. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Some people think it's stupid. Probably. I think it's cool.
What are you
know,
talking about?
Like
Where at? What was I saying before something?
see a little like that dread right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just little rings up there, like right there.
You just get them to where they stay in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I just was dreaded, so I just
They
stick it-
just kind of get worked in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And-
Or are you saying you put them through the dread?
Yeah, I put them through the dread,
Gotcha,
and it
okay,
just kind of the bead it's so tight that it just stays in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think it's cool. But anyhow,
Yeah.
just a little. Continue.
What was I saying before? said something
We
about the
just got
mustache.
off of Diamond City. And,
Oh, our scariest thing.
Yeah.
It was so we were at Weston State Penitentiary, I think.
Where's that?
I think it's in Weston, West Virginia, I think. I have to look it up. Let me see if I can look that up real quick. Yeah, so like that shit was like for real. Like
Wow.
it scared the shit out of us.
I imagine.
Like cuz we were talking about this
That's awesome.
room like it was like super scary. And trying to get Shelby to go in there, and we're not worried about it,
Right.
Because we've been in there, we hung out in there, whatever. And then she's like not wanting to go in there, And then that happened. And we just all took off running. Like, I mean, it was pretty freaky. It was pretty freaky.
So
I'm still going to say it might have been a bird running into the fucking building. That's very possible.
my mom to this day, so my grandma lived in, there's a place in Williamston called Doodle Hill. I know it sounds crazy, but
That's cool.
There is. Yeah. My grandma used to live there, and the house that she lived in was super old. And my mom, when she was living there, she swears by the story. She's told it to me the same way for years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, how people get older and their story changes.
Mm-hmm.
It's never changed.
Yeah.
She's told it to me like 100 times. It's always been the same. So I feel like it's credible. She said that my grandfather, I never met my grandfather. He died before I was born.
Mm-hmm.
And she was laying in there one night, and she was laying down, and she had her eyes closed, but she wasn't asleep. And she felt something at the edge of the bed, like somebody had sat on the edge of the bed. And she opened her eyes, and it was her dad. Sat down on the edge of the bed, reached over and pushed the cover over her shoulder, got up and walked out the door. And
I'm good.
yeah, that's what she's told me that story for forever. And I'm just, you know, as a kid hearing it, you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
And I've slept in that room, and yeah, it just freaks me out. But
Yeah.
I believe in stuff like that. I believe in crazier stuff than that. So
We stayed in the Conjuring house. And
really,
yeah.
that's so awesome.
Yeah. And that was
How did you manage that? That's cool.
well. First off, it's Jake,
Yeah.
so
well, he
you
has
know,
resources.
It's a little easier, yeah. But you can just book it.
Really?
Yeah, you can book it. Like you can go. You can. They have a website. They might have sold it by now. But the guy who owned it at the time, like, they just booked it for ghost hunters. They booked it for people who just wanted to come and stay in the house.
Me and my
You
wife
can come
love
and
that.
sleep
That's
there.
a cool date idea to me.
Yeah, you can go watch. Like, a lot of people watch The Conjuring at that house.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a cool old house. Like, it's so old.
Isn't that kind of? I feel like that's kind of like talking shit.
It's like up in New England. What, talking shit about the house?
Like if you're in the house watching The Conjuring, that's kind of like talking
Oh
shit.
yeah. It's kind of like you're being real brazen, like,
Right.
Real brave here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a really cool old like New England house. So it's like as old as the country. Like it's
Right.
like this wood. You look at some of the wood.
It's just old country. It's just old.
But what I mean is, like, you ever go on a field trip where like there's one specific thing I'm thinking.
Did you ever
of.
go to Fort Branch as a kid?
I don't know.
Out near Robertsonville.
I don't know about that. I just know that there's this field trip I went on where like they were showing us how people lived like
That's what I'm getting.
years
That's
and years
what
and
it
years
is.
ago. Oh, maybe that's what it was. Yeah. And it's like that. It's like a shack house,
Right.
You know, kind of thing. Yeah.
That's
Anyway,
cool though.
cool old house. Yeah, I'd check it out if you still can. But yeah. But even through all that, I've never had an experience that made me go
Definitively,
yeah. I mean, honestly, I didn't really ever have anything that made me go maybe.
but that's fair. That's fair because that means if something does happen, that
yeah.
you know you're gonna.
I'll
It's
be like,
really gonna be. It's
you know
really gonna
what?
be something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you're somebody that takes a lot, you know.
I'm gonna need something like a full body thing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, rest assured, if you
Not
ever
breathing right.
if you ever come up and you're like, yeah, this is what happened, it's some real shit.
Yeah.
But that's cool, man. I love stuff like that. Anything paranormal, extraterrestrial stuff.
You ever gone looking?
Oh my god.
You ever gone like specifically? Like, is that what you were in Diamond City for? Like, were you trying to find that?
Not necessarily. We're just being kids out there
Yeah,
smoking weed. And
I got
stuff.
you.
Just,
Yeah, I got you.
But
you ever been to the Devil's Stomping Grounds? Isn't that that's in North Carolina, right?
I've been to there's a couple of them.
Really?
Yeah, there's one in Diamond City actually.
Interesting.
There is. It's a gigantic circle, almost perfect circle, where nothing grows in it, and we've left.
Supposedly, you put stuff in it and it gets kicked out.
Yep, and we put stuff in it, and like bags and what have you, whatever. I put a whole like McDonald's bag with a cheeseburger in it one time out there.
Well-
and it was outside the circle, but it was.
Yeah, but you're also out in the middle of the woods.
Yeah, but just stuff, random stuff. But it's always outside the circle when we come back the next day.
Yeah.
But it's
I'd put something in there like, I don't know, me in a chair. I want to wake up outside of the circle.
right.
Yeah.
And so
I'm gonna wake up at 3:00 in the morning with Satan just dragging me out of the circle. I'll just look up and like, oh, okay,
oh my god.
all right.
Yeah, dude. Like,
He's gonna pretend I'm asleep. Yeah. But
there's been people that allegedly have done that, and they wake up, or it's all relative to the person. It's whatever.
Yeah.
It's again, like you said, it's hearsay, and it's hard to believe hearsay sometimes.
I
you
believe
know?
alien stories more than I believe ghost stories.
You know, me too. To be honest with you, because there's a lot of different levels to like ghost, like paranormal stuff, like with ghosts. Because some people believe that it's energy and you can see like balls of light and stuff. And to me, that's I believe
Dust.
it's like ectoplasm or what, stuff like that. That Ghostbuster stuff, and I believe some of that stuff, but some of it I think it's reaching. I think you're trying to find something. Like
when I see stuff on video, like a
you're
lot
trying
of
too hard.
a lot of our videos, people would point out ghost orbs, quote unquote.
That's what I'm getting at, like spheres and like
And I'm like, that's dust.
yeah.
Someone posted something on Facebook. A friend of mine, a Facebook friend of mine, posted something on Facebook. They were like, "We haven't been in this room in the house in forever, and this is our baby cam or whatever." And watch, here's our baby sleeping, but watch what happens like right when she starts to move or something. And there's like something, I don't know. I don't think the kid ever started moving, but they were just like, there was something in the lens, like something moved.
Right.
And she was like, "There's not dust in there or something." I don't know. And I was like, no, that's like a bug or something. Like,
or like
that's dust or
like when they see the
like,
streaks,
I know what it looks like.
when the streaks, it's clearly a bug. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
With a night vision kind of camera, like anything that's going to have any sort of reflection to it at all is going to bounce that
Right.
the IR beam back to the camera.
Right.
And it's going to look bright.
Right.
So dust, a bug,
Yeah.
anything that with a reflection like that.
Yeah. I agree with that. And
I'm such a party pooper when it comes to stuff like that.
No. You're a realist, man. You have to have definitive proof for something to believe it, and I respect that because that's you want to be able to explain something. You want to everything. I'm to that way to a certain point too. Like I believe there's a logical explanation for everything, but sometimes the explanation may not be. It may be a little more.
Like we might not be able to understand it. Yeah,
exactly. Because like what they say, magic, is only science that we don't understand yet.
Right. That's kind of my feeling on it. Like it's not like I'm saying like it definitely doesn't exist. It's just like I don't think so, but I'm open to it, I guess.
Right.
I mean, enough people have stories that I'm like, maybe
I'll listen.
Maybe I'm so negative about it that they're just like, we're gonna stay away from that guy. Like all the ghost energy is just like, nah, we're not. He doesn't deserve to see us.
They just don't want to be proved wrong. That's all.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Crystal has relatives who've seen a lot of. When I say a lot, I mean like a few of them apparently have seen a few flying saucers.
I do believe it all depends on where you live too. Like
for ghosts or flying saucers.
Both.
Okay.
Both.
Alien spaceships.
Like because if they come from light years away from us, man, they're not gonna make it. If they're trying to hide from us, they're not gonna make it easy, and they absolutely have that. If you're seeing them,
right?
they're meant to be.
Right.
They don't.
They're showing you.
Yeah. Absolutely. They have. They come from that far away. They absolutely have technology to cloak themselves.
Oh yeah.
So
I thought that too, man. I genuinely. You ever get you ever. Sometimes it's like this air that gets about, like, kind of. It's just something that's. You can feel it. Like something feels different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Know? And the past few years, like things have been so wild that it's just like, I feel something's coming.
You ever been in the middle of the woods and all the birds stop chirping and all the insects stop buzzing and everything just.
I haven't, but I know the feeling.
Yeah,
I know what you're referring to.
Yeah, dude, everything just stops and it's like you're in a bubble of frozen time and there's no sound. It's complete quiet.
That's usually a bad thing.
And then the hair stands up on the back of my neck.
Yeah.
And then, it's bad.
That's kind of what things feel like right now. Like when the Pentagon was like, just just kind of throwing this out there while all this other crazy shit's going on.
We have been observing.
They may not have.
When they declassified all the stuff.
Not like what was it? Vehicles not of this Earth or something like that.
There's a new term for it. It's no longer UFO. Well,
I mean, a UFO is anything.
Yeah, but they have a new term for it.
Anything in the sky that we don't know what the fuck it is.
Hold on, let me Google it because I don't want to say it wrong. Hold on, but there is a new term for it. I think Hillary Clinton actually said new term for UFO. Okay, it is UAP.
Okay.
Yeah. UAP is a unidentified aerial phenomenon. And that's, I think, it might have been Hillary Clinton that said it. She was on a talk show or something. And she was like, yeah, no, now we call them UAPs. So now when you're trying to look at UFO stuff, everybody has been doing that for years. They have no, they didn't even, they changed the name. It's kind of smart if you think about it. It kind of throws you off and not know where to look.
It sounds like a way to discount anything that you see.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
an unidentified aerial phenomenon sounds like, no. That was a weather balloon.
It's a way to be very, very vague is what it is. Yeah.
Do you think we've got aliens?
Oh,
Do you think we have?
I think they've been here. I think they were here before us.
You think they're among us?
I think that they're smarter.
I don't think they're among us. They might be. Maybe like 15, like throughout the world. There's one for.
I think they're around us, not among us. I think that I don't. When you say among us, it means like they're intermingling with us, and we're talking to. I don't believe that. Like I don't believe like the whole thing where. Like say I'm talking to you and you're one in disguise. I don't mean that. I don't believe that kind of thing.
Surprise.
Yeah. But I believe they're
melt.
I believe that they're on planet, and I believe that they've been here. I believe they've been here, but far longer than we have.
Really?
I believe that we are an absolute product of them.
Really?
I believe that somewhere between 10 to 100,000 years ago, they've messed with our genetic code and rapidly sped up our evolution rate.
Yeah.
So that
I know that theory.
Because the zoo theory is a big thing with me. I believe that we were put on here to be observed. That's what I believe. Really? I think that we were, because it's too big of a coincidence and stuff that we can't explain. Like we're 2022.
It fits well with religious groups too.
Yeah, we're crazy advanced at this point. We still can't figure out how the pyramids are made, and we were finding tools that have high rotation machine. Like there's these jade bracelets that have like these tool marks on them. They're high, like super high rotation speeds, tool marks, and we have no. They're like 100,000 years old. We have no clue how they got there, how they were made. Yeah. We have no clue. We didn't have tools like that. I believe that we were genetically altered to speed up our evolution so that we would get to the point that we're at now or somewhere down the line closer. Yeah. Faster, I know that so I've heard that before, and I've also heard that some people believe that there's I can't remember where, but there was like a civilization that some people think has been discovered. That's like this place. This is kind of the North Pole. Like I don't know. I don't think it's there. Yeah, I don't know about that one. But
it's like there's a place that people think that this is where like a really advanced civilization used to live. Like they had things that maybe we don't have now, but like they were really advanced.
Oh yeah, I believe that we were reset
for the time. Yeah, we got reset or something. Like something happened.
I got something crazier for you. I also believe that our moon is artificial.
And you think our moon is artificial?
I really do.
This is going to be interesting.
You can Google stuff about this.
I bet you can.
So there's a cool piece of information that they did like seismographic like tests on the moon, and it rung like a bell. And there's then like all the craters on the moon they're only but so deep, you know what I mean? And I could show you some videos and it would open a rabbit hole.
You think so?
I absolutely know so, because the moon is, I think it's 400 times the size. The sun is 100 times larger than the Earth, but the moon is 400 times smaller than the sun. So and it's the perfect. They're so perfect in their sizes that when we have eclipse, they're so perfect that we can have eclipses, and it's too perfect is what I'm getting at. There's a way to articulate it, but I can't come up with the words. But it's like the mathematical odds of our moon being the perfect size to rotate right in front of our sun to create an eclipse so perfect, the odds are astronomical.
What would happen
if not only that, be the right distance away?
What would happen? I wonder if we had. You know what? I think if we had something like this, like the size of Earth, as for a moon, I'm almost positive it would do the same thing. Light's going to wrap around it because the sun is huge. I think. I could be wrong.
But the moon blocks out the sun perfectly.
I'm saying is I think that's
and
property of light is what I'm saying.
Well, I'll send you some stuff,
Yeah.
and it'll throw you down a rabbit hole.
That's interesting, though.
But
that's crazy. I've
there's-
never heard that before.
There's also the blind spot theory,
Okay.
which is also cool. All right, so for instance,
Okay. Taking a candle in a bowl.
oh yeah, this is our Earth.
Okay.
This is our moon.
Got it.
Some people believe, and I think this is, I don't say I believe this, I think this is a cool theory. Or for instance, this is the sun.
Okay.
This is our Earth.
Candle's the sun, bowl is the earth.
So as we rotate around the sun,
Uh-huh.
they move equal to us to keep surveillance.
Oh, you think there's something on the other side of the sun watching us?
I didn't say that I think that, but
Some people think that.
Some people think that, and it's a cool theory that there's something on the other side that but we'll
Interesting.
never be able to see it, and they know that.
Is that true? I guess it's got to be
And the
true.
same thing with the moon, just the same reason. And that's another thing with the moon. We never see the dark side of the moon because it's in this thing called tidal lock.
Right,
Tidal lock
right.
is where the moon turns at the same rate that it's going around our Earth, and it's in tidal lock, so we never see anything but that one side of the moon. So
Right.
we have no clue what's on the back.
Right.
And there's some stuff, man.
You think there's some stuff on the other side of the moon?
I honestly believe there's something on the. I believe that's where they're observing us from. If they
Really?
yeah.
Huh.
That's what I believe. That's me, and I sound like a crackpot theory kind of guy, but that's what I believe.
That'd be crazy, man.
But
Like,
yeah.
you'd think they would have stepped in, though. Like, at some point.
I don't think that they would let us destroy our Earth.
I
think
know
that-
that there's people who think, or who have...
There's videos of like our nukes being our missiles being shot down by stuff.
Okay. See, I was going to say, when we started messing with nuclear bombs and shit, that seems to be when there was a big uptick in sightings,
Right.
quote unquote.
There's videos of over top of silos and stuff like that. There's ships,
yeah.
vehicles.
Huh.
There's videos like that where they're over.
Is there
top of
anything
it.
that doesn't look like a flying saucer?
I mean,
Like, because that's when I'm going to go, that might be real. Because when I see flying saucer, I'm like, some illustrator came up with that.
well, you don't know what it is. You know, they're different shapes. Like
Yeah.
there's cigar shapes, there's triangles, there's do you ever see? I 100% believe Bob Lazar. Like I am all in when it comes to him. He is way too smart. He's way too smart and he has so much more to lose than he wouldn't make all. I just don't feel like he would make all this stuff up.
You don't think so?
And
I'm going to play devil's advocate here.
He's got too much information. He has far too much. He knows too much.
Is it...
It's just they've ruined his life. Like they have made it so that his college, like it was like he was never there. And there's several. I mean, he's in contact with people that he had classes with. He clearly was there. He can walk you around. Like they tested him out. They walked around the whole campus and he pointed out everything. Like
Why is he
been
still
there.
alive? Because he's not making a lot of noise?
There's another guy.
Keep him from making noise?
Well, because that would be obvious.
Well, I mean, they've done it.
Yeah, there's another guy.
We're
Like the
pretty
guy
positive.
the guy that made the vehicle that ran on water. They killed his ass. They won't even. They poisoned.
Wait,
they
what?
won't even like. There was a guy that years ago that made a vehicle that ran on water, some kind of hydrodynamic pressure or something.
Like it was
like
operated.
instead of gas, it was
Gotcha.
water, but a different kind of setup. You know,
I
clearly
thought you
not
meant like
a
one of those amphibian.
Yeah, but clearly not
vehicles.
like a combustion engine that runs off of air and gas. You know, with a
Yeah.
carburetor and nothing like that. But like he made a vehicle that he could drive it, and its fuel source was water.
That's interesting.
And his last words were, "They've killed me, they've killed me." And he ran out of the house and like.
When was this?
I'd have to look it up, but
Feel free.
Yeah, I'll find it for you.
Yeah, I'm interested in
But
that.
apparently they won't even. They were pretty brazen about it. They just poisoned his ass, and yeah.
Damn. Yeah, I mean, I don't think the government's above doing shit like that. Like for sure. I know for like at this point, well, aren't the JFK like files supposed to be declassified at this point? Like aren't
Here you
we
go.
supposed to have a whole bunch of files on that? Like just public record.
Here,
What's this?
just read the top.
Let's see.
That's the
Stanley
guy.
Meyer.
That's the guy. He made a car.
But we can all rest assured that in all these years, he never forgot the case of Stanley Meyer, the inventor of the water-powered car, who in 1998 got up from a table at a restaurant to run into a car park.
Well, there you go. Outside. That's what I meant.
Some say just to leave a message. They poisoned me. It's because of what I'm doing. Revolutionized. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, wow.
Yeah. They like straight up killed his ass, bro.
So where's
Like,
the patent for this thing?
we got-
Why isn't this thing?
How many people would lose money because of that? You
Yeah,
know?
but did they bury the patent?
I guess I don't know. But that's what I know. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I want to look at that more. That's cool.
It's they straight up killed him.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ford and like
Oh, you think car manufacturers got together and did this
they
shit?
had the most to lose, man.
Well, I
Because you
would
think about
say the oil tycoons who are probably like,
Dude, their stocks would plummet overnight.
I'm saying like I probably wasn't car manufacturers. It probably went a lot higher than that. People who actually run the country, people with
Right.
money, with a lot of shit. Like they have way more to lose.
Right.
Than
Like
car
if all of a sudden
manufacturer.
somebody would all of a sudden was able to start manufacturing their own oil and didn't need, Russia now that that's political. We're not going to go into that, but but you imagine if somebody invented a machine on the edge of their table that can produce oil at an exponential rate that that put businesses out of business, like Shell or whatever,
Yeah.
BP out of business. You imagine they'd be dead by morning.
Probably.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God, there'd be oh man,
I think
they wouldn't be able to kill him fast enough.
I listened to a podcast recently, Time Suck. It's a cool podcast, by the way, if anybody likes to laugh and learn things at the same time. Time Suck with Dan Cummins. He's a comedian. Very funny. Long podcast. He does like extensive research on the subjects. And recently he did a 2-part episode on Jeffrey Epstein and Vladimir Putin. But Epstein was an interesting one because I didn't really know a whole lot about it.
Say what you want about Putin, man. Dude's a brilliant. He's ex-KGB. He's a brilliant dude, man. Like he's scary.
He's smart.
He is very smart.
Garbage person, but smart.
Oh my God, such a garbage person.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he's brilliant.
Yeah, he is smart.
He's
good at.
There's a reason why
propaganda.
he's where he is.
Also, a lot of the stuff that I listened to the Vladimir Putin episode too, by the way.
Oh.
I feel like everything you have to take a lot of there's a lot of accolades he had, like academically, I think. At least that's what he says. And I feel like you just have to take a lot of that with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Just because of who he is. And it's like, man, you seem like you just lie a lot. Yeah. And he is a scary person. Like he doesn't seem to.
God, can you imagine how intimidating it is to talk to him? Like we're pretty big men. Yeah. You know what I mean? But he could be 5 foot even, and I feel like I'd still,
Nah, I gotta be real with you.
Be a little nervous. I mean,
if I knew who he was, like obviously if I know who he is, then yeah, but it's only because I feel like I'm gonna get America blown up or something. Or I'll say the wrong thing. I'm not worried about him kicking my ass.
I'm gonna wind up in a straitjacket.
Actually, he probably could.
Dude, ex-KGB.
Yeah, I forgot about that part.
Oh my man, dude.
Yeah, he'd whoop my ass.
Yeah, dude.
Anyway,
like you might whoop my ass, but I'm not gonna be afraid of you.
Yeah, Epstein. I'm not sure that there's just a lot with that. Like he definitely, he didn't kill himself.
No
he may have.
No way.
I'm saying he might.
You mean assisted suicide?
There was a good point made. There's good points to make. Like this lockup was the first time he'd ever. Also, I'm just regurgitating things that Dan Cummins said. By the way, go listen to his podcast. But this time he was locked up for real. The first time he got locked up, I think it was in 2014. He was in jail, quote unquote, for a year and a half. But during that time, he was allowed to leave for 12 hours a day. He was at home.
So he was like
a
weekend lockup kind of thing, probably.
Barely. Like he could leave. He had to sleep there. That was it. So this is the first time he'd actually been.
Isn't it nice to have money and like?
Yeah, and here's the crazy thing. In 2014, here's why it is fishy. Like a lot of people think he worked for the government.
I mean, there are people that say he's an informant.
Well, yeah, 2014, he got arrested for the same shit. Yeah, like it was the same thing, and he just got a slap on the wrist, basically. This time, though, it seemed like he was getting taken down, and that's why a lot of people think that he was killed. Obviously, that's why people think that, and a lot of people think that it's possible that he wasn't, that he just killed himself. Because I mean, like, what are you going to do at this point? It may be. That's true too. Maybe. I guess. You know, maybe he didn't die.
Have you watched Leaving Neverland?
No.
Oh my dude,
that's the R. Kelly thing, right?
No, that's the
Michael
Jackson thing.
No.
It made me sick to my stomach almost, man. And like, dude, it talked about how it had guys like, because he's dead now, and clearly he can't defend himself. That's why they done it, because now he can't like sue nobody or anything. But he legit had little boyfriends. That's what it was.
You think so?
He had a mat outside of his room that when you
I think
walked
he's
on
just
it,
weird. Like I think he was.
I don't know, man.
I think he was just like. I
There's
think
too
he
many
was still
kids.
a kid.
There's too many kids saying the same story. Like you need to watch it because it's he, like I said, he had a mat outside his door in the hallway. And when you walked on it, it started playing music. These guys that were like, whenever you saw him at shows, he'd be holding the hand of some little boy, or like you see him on rides. He would pay their families and would, like, their kid would come to his house and just hang out and sleep in the same bed as him.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I'm not saying it's not weird.
Think of you having a kid.
I get it.
And you know what I mean? Like,
I get it.
And he legit had little boyfriends. That's what it was. And these kids that are grown up now are telling their story, and they're
saying they were molested.
Like for instance, there was one kid that was like, yeah, we would hold hands, and the code when we rub each other's palms, it meant they were thinking of each other sexually.
Interesting.
He said that.
Wow.
And like these kids all kind of had the similar stories, and he legit had little boyfriends. That's what it was. And like there's more to it, but it's fucking gross, and I'm not going to go into it.
Yeah.
But you should watch it. It really makes you think differently about that dude, because he was gross, man. Like, it wasn't just that he didn't have a childhood or anything like that. Like, he's gross.
You knew where I was going with that.
Yeah. Like,
because that is what a lot of people say. A lot lot say,
no, bro. He was fucking nasty.
He didn't get a child. He didn't have a childhood. He was definitely fucked up in the head. Like
little boys. That's what he like. There's other stuff, but like I said, I don't want to go into.
I can tell you believe this. You
need to watch it.
Yeah,
you need to watch it.
Yeah.
And, like it'll change your mind, because the way it could be just a show that convinced some guy like me, but like. He was gross, man. And then when you look at pictures and like videos that they show about it, like him, like they talk about it and then they show proof, like photos of these kids, like him holding hands, walking into shows with them, like not his kid, not I think his kid was his kid named Blanket or something like that.
I don't know.
Anyhow, but these families would be like, yeah, it's okay if such. He would call them at their house, like he's their, like back in the day before cell phones, and we'd call women like our girlfriends and shit,
I wonder if it was like
so weird.
I wonder if it's just one of those things, like for me and for a lot of people, I think probably the parents at the time.
I would lose my mind if my son went and stayed the night with some other man, like some man like that, and in their bed.
What I'm saying is, if you're a Michael Jackson fan, if you're it's the same thing with the R. Kelly thing. Like, parents just let their kids go with R. Kelly, and it was just like you trust the guy because you feel like you know him.
Somebody has millions of dollars,
gotta be part of it,
and you get starstruck, and all of a sudden, basic parenting goes out the window.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you. My fault.
No, you're good. I was just, I think it's something that.
Do you think it was a generational thing too, like something that was more acceptable back then?
No.
Yeah, I don't either.
No, I just think
because.
I think he was weird, and that's what people chalked it up to. And then I know a lot of people, like, when everything, because there was a whole trial. I was very young. There was a trial and everything, wasn't there? Like, he got
like several, and
right.
like he would call around to these kids, like that wasn't it too. He would call around to these kids and tell them that he was like, no, it's all lies. They they don't know anything. If they ask you, just tell them that nothing happened. It was weird.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah, at least watch like the first 2 episodes, and by then you'll know what you'll have your opinion.
Yeah,
yeah, but it's nothing but at least convincing.
Yeah,
it's gross, man.
I'll have to check it out. I don't know. I hadn't really thought about that in a while, to be honest with you.
When you were talking about that, it come to my mind.
It was like
I can't unwatch it now.
When he passed away, it was like a lot of that stuff kind of.
Like some people
just kind of forgot about it.
Some people think that his nurse killed him or whatever, or something happened. It's no telling, man.
I have no idea.
Some people say he was chemically castrated, which is it's bizarre, bro. A lot of things surrounding that guy is just crazy.
That's why I mean it's not hard to.
But like
think that he was.
I'm outside of the loop. What happened with Ghislaine Maxwell? Like I'm way outside.
I don't even know who that is.
Jeffrey Epstein's.
I don't know. I think she's still in jail.
Is she?
I think so. I think so.
Yeah, I have no clue. I haven't heard anything on her in a while. Like Like I followed the Jeffrey Epps because he was a horrible person too. You know, and just
I didn't follow any of it really when it was going on. I mean, I don't read that. I don't
how
I
many
I'm not in the news or anything.
how many times do you mess with little girls' dad? Like little girls like guys, little girls before somebody kills you. You know what I mean? Like how many times you get away with it, and not just like, yeah. I don't think he killed himself, but
let's see. As of April 28th, 2021. Okay, so that's not today. Let's see. Where's she at? What are we doing? We still in jail? Currently incarcerated.
Yeah.
As of April 4th.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. That was pretty recent. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, man. It seems like celebrities get away with shit. Like people with money, they get away with shit for a long time.
Easy.
Like R. Kelly, like he just kind of skated through this shit for a very long time.
Yeah.
Bill Cosby. I mean,
like
even after his shit came to light, you know, people,
it was still hard to pin stuff on him after that long, you know? Like how many I don't know how many testimonies
enough that it was like, okay.
Overwhelming, yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
I think he's out.
Is he?
I think so. Is he out?
I don't know why
We're just going to keep Googling people. Maybe he's not, but I don't know.
I don't know why I thought that he had died or something. I don't know why. Maybe.
Yeah, free but not exonerated. They probably let him out just because he's old as shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Probably. Yeah,
that kind of. I mean, that probably. I don't know why they let him out, but if that's why, I think that's kind of bullshit. You can shuffle around a prison.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah. Whatever.
You can. Yeah.
Anyway,
it's money. That's all it is.
Yeah, I guess so. I just don't. Maybe getting famous like that just fucks with you, or are you just a terrible person and you get famous? Like, what is it?
Or you. Oh, yeah, maybe
both,
getting famous makes you think you can get away with anything, but you have to be kind of shitty to.
I think you already have
that.
to be a garbage person.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You have to already like be there, or at least have the fundamentals of like a fucked up person.
Yeah.
And then becoming rich and famous kind of just makes you evolve into whatever it is that's buried.
Like, have you ever heard of Bohemian Grove and that stuff?
I've heard the
name.
It's
where, like Illuminati like stuff comes.
Yeah.
People like world leaders come together and stuff, and
yeah,
so-called. There's somebody that like allegedly infiltrated it and there's a video or whatever, but it's all hearsay. It's all, you know. But the cool thing with today is there's cell phones everywhere and everything is recorded. But in the same breath, on the other side of the sword is it's so easy to dub stuff and like doctor videos and stuff now. That's the problem.
Deep fakes are very good now.
Very good.
Like you can make anybody look like they're saying anything.
Absolutely.
It's hard to believe shit today. Like
that's true.
Do you ever notice when you're scrolling on social media, like
you have to Google almost everything, to make sure.
And it's like some people share things, and you read whatever the post said that was shared, and it's worded in a way that is clearly inflammatory. Like this is aimed at the type of person that shared this.
Right.
Definitely.
Right.
And it goes both ways.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. Like I learned about in that Vladimir Putin episode I was talking about before. I learned about the Russian troll farms. That I told you I stay unplugged, dude. I don't pay attention to a lot of that stuff. It's just not. I'm kind of in my own bubble.
I pay attention to what I'm interested in, and that's about it.
I learned about those troll farms though, and was like, oh shit! Like it made me go. I'm starting to see people are very, very, very highly controlled by social media. Yeah. Like we're so angry at each other like all the time. It feels like, and it's because
something so small too. Like
we all think that because you believe this, that must also mean you believe this.
Yeah,
you know, like what's a good example? I don't know. If you disagree with, okay, hold on. Okay, I don't necessarily think that guns should be taken away. I don't think that guns should not be, or just simplify it. Say, I don't think guns should be taken away.
Yeah, I'm a huge guns person, so
Right.
yeah.
Like, I don't think guns should be taken away. And people hear that and immediately think that you're this, Fourth Amendment wearing T-shirt, rebel flag flying, racist, kind of person. And it's like, no. No. I want to be able to go buy a gun that I can wear to my gay friend's wedding.
Absolutely.
While
While
it doesn't
practicing
have
women's
to be
rights,
so.
like the whole women's rights stuff right now is it's horrible.
Yeah, that's crazy. I can't believe that's happening.
Yeah,
Or that
right.
that it's even a thing.
Yeah.
Like, that it's even like. Why are we even talking about this?
That's the only reason this Johnny Depp stuff is happening. Is to cover that up. It's to draw attention. The only reason they're publicizing that trial.
The reason they're publicizing it.
Yeah, that's the only reason. Is so it tries to draw somewhat attention away from that. But people are starting to wake up, man. You can't treat people like shit, but for so long, But
yeah,
whatever you have burning smells amazing.
These two candles.
Yeah, it smells
whichever
awesome.
one it is. It's probably this one.
Yes.
That one's like
Cedar.
it's some kind of wood or something.
Yeah, it smells good. But yeah, you can't treat people like shit, but for so long for them, it's only a matter of time, man. And then it's almost like they want martial law to be enacted, like they want you to start, because if there was ever going to be rioting, it'd be for something like this, like taking condoms away or something crazy like that, where if somebody gets raped and they can't get an abortion because you're gonna have people start killing themselves, and then you're gonna it's gonna snowball so bad.
It's a wild time. Like
dude,
right now, it feels like
we're fighting for shit that we were fighting for in like the 60s, the 50s, and 60s. It's so bizarre.
Also, I mean, the main thing that this so here's what this feels like. This feels like another step in trying to get rid of trying to weed out people who are almost out of middle class.
Right.
And
like
push
population
them
control at
back
the point,
down.
but trying to mask it like, we need more workers. But
So if you get rid of legal abortion,
the people that are having abortions like every 6 months and stuff, that it's either going to go one or two ways. They're either going to stop doing what they're doing, or it's going to fuck them. It's some people, and this is really shitty to say, some people don't need to breed. Be honest, dude. Just being real about it. Some people do not need to breed. Because they'd be shit parents. We already have enough homeless kids. There's so many kids that get lost in the system now, and I have friends that are homeless and their time was horrible growing up, and the whole notion of there should be two parents to raise a child is so stupid. Like, as long as you I really believe if you at least have one good parent that loves you and will take care of you, you'll turn out fine.
I think everybody seeks out their parental figures anyway.
Absolutely.
You have many, like obviously you only have like one set of biological parents.
Right. But you can't pick who you're born to. You can't pick your family.
Right. And I think, you're gonna have, I think everybody has multiple parental figures in their life, throughout their life.
Oh, absolutely.
Like you have, the people you look up to, you've got like your work dad.
I have people now. I'm 32. And my bosses, I look up to them so much. Yeah. Like, just because they're successful, they've been there for me. You know what I mean? They're absolutely perfect role models now. And I try to if you have a big decision in life, you're like, what would they do? You know what I mean?
Just everything. It's crazy that stuff's, like I said, even being talked about. But it really seems, you have to sit back and think about it. It's like, why are we doing this?
What was wrong with what we had going on?
It's gotta be money.
Something.
It's always money.
Something.
It's gotta be money. So why money or everything ends in money.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's just like, no, it's some political agenda that's going to end in someone making some deal someday.
Absolutely.
Like, they're going to cash in on this. So I'm trying to figure out what it is. And a lot of people think it's, so the population has shifted where, at least I haven't looked this up, so I'm just talking at my ass here. But what I heard, this is someone's theory, that population has shifted where white people are not the majority anymore, and or it's rapidly heading in the direction of white people being the minority, and the people in charge typically are white. You know, like
old
that's
white men.
old
That's
white
pretty
dudes.
much what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and so a lot of people think that this might be a move to try to increase the white population.
I think that we should absolutely have like a diverse group of leaders.
Yeah,
I think
obviously.
yeah, absolutely. I don't think it should all be dominated by old white men that have been. I think there should be term limits. That I don't think you should be able to rule office for 20 years.
Yeah, no.
Horseshit. At this point, some of those guys they can't. I don't even believe they can make a solid decision.
Right.
You know, just
To explain that theory a little further, just by the way, for people who might not, they're like, that's bullshit. There's a bit of like thinking to it. So typically, when I think of someone going and getting an abortion, I'm thinking
somebody's just not ready.
I'm thinking probably a young white girl is who I'm picturing almost all the time, and it's just because and this is me and Crystal have talked about this. Her coming from black culture, me coming from white culture. It's kind of seen as kind of a white people thing, just kind of like.
You don't think that like African American? You think they like?
I'm saying
just suck it up and deal with it more, or do you think
that's kind of
the blunt way of saying
a bit? Yeah, kind of. Like it's not like it's not an option and you can't do it. It's just like
they don't take it much for granted.
No. What I'm saying is like in the system that we're in, racism is embedded. Like there are things that as a white person I'm educated in because of the environment that I grew up in.
Right.
Like it's a different culture and there's just different ways of growing up, different ways of being raised. And I think that from what I understand in the black community, it's less
acceptable.
Less often you're going to go get an abortion. That's just
like it's less acceptable and it's okay. It's like more taboo.
More white people, more white girls get abortions is what I'm.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know statistics, but like,
yeah,
I get where you're coming from.
That's that's the theory that like I don't remember where the fuck I heard it, but when I heard it, I was like, I think it actually might have been somebody Crystal works with. I think it was Crystal who said it to me, and it was just like, okay, all right, yeah, that's. Because we were just sitting there brainstorming, like, why would they do this? It doesn't make any sense to me, you know. Like you can argue that it's for religious reasons or whatever, but like we've been relying on the science for a while now that's not it, right? Like that's not at a certain point that is now a baby,
right?
Before this point, not a baby, you know, kind of thing. Anyway, I don't know. Shit's crazy, man.
Well, the whole when it becomes a human is all a matter of debate and speculation. It's just everybody has their own opinions about it, and just I feel like if it's your body, you should be able to do whatever the fuck you want, man.
Right.
And I'm one of these people that feel like the woman should have more say so than the man should because she has to carry it for 9 months.
Agreed.
You just sit around and got a bitch about her not being able to whatever. Right. You know, and that's not saying what I would do.
I got
that's
you.
Genuinely what
the
a guy
type
does.
of person who would bitch about this situation.
Exactly,
is
man.
Probably the type of person to
not to mention
be a jerk.
Her feet's hurting, her hormones are out of balance. Her temperature can't get right. She's hurting. Her back hurts. You know, she's sick of carrying that baby. After 9 months, she's miserable.
Right.
You know what I mean? And just I feel like
it's not something we should be deciding.
Absolutely. As a male, I don't feel that I should have to say so whether or not she should, have to carry that baby for 9 months or not. That should be completely on her, and we should be just thankful and overjoyed if she decides that she wants to keep it.
Right.
And I can't imagine sticking someone with that and not giving them a choice about something that you like their own body. I can't fathom that. It's awful.
It all feels very one-sided.
It feels like we should be living without electricity, to be honest with you. That's how far back I feel like this has pushed us. Like I feel like we have absolutely taken a step back.
A big one. It's weird.
It's going to cause a lot of problems.
If it goes through.
There was one thing that
I don't think
me and my wife
it's confirmed that it's actually going to happen.
One thing when my wife read that like a potential like something that could happen like years down the road is like if you leave the state while you're pregnant. I'm like, and she told me this. I was like, you let them try to tell us that. Like I would be pretty brazen. Like you're not going to tell us we can't leave the state because she's pregnant because of the
because you might be able to go to another state where you can get an abortion.
Right. That's you're not going to be able to enforce that. Yeah. No way. Like there's a house. I mean, there's a housing development in like a town that I can't remember where it was, but my wife was telling me about this, and where they're making it so that if you're not married, you can't live together. Isn't that bizarre? I think it might be in Kansas or something. It's somewhere out there. Yeah, and just stuff like that. If you're
so weird.
It's so bizarre, right? Like, and how are you going to enforce that? Like, you don't have you barely have the manpower to clean up to patrol streets. How are you going to manage that? Like, just little tidbits of information.
Is that legal?
I have no clue. I'll send it to you later. I'll get her to send it to me. But it was just so bizarre that they have tried to make that a thing, but it's going to come to a head, and people aren't going to deal with it. Like I said a while ago, man, you can only treat people like shit, but for so long. Yeah, but
I think if it goes through, there's going to be
there's going to be
bit of a problem.
Yeah, people are going to riot. People are not going to take it. They're not going to take it sitting down. No way. And it's awful.
Yeah,
but
well. We're going to end on that real dark note.
No, man. I've enjoyed myself tonight, man. This is awesome.
It was nice.
I appreciate you having me.
With you. Of course.
Yeah, dude. Every time I've ever talked to you, you've always always been super kind, super cool.
I try to be.
I feel like we've always got along pretty well, I
think so.
Yeah, you're a cool guy. Oh, yeah, man. If you ever want me in the future, I'm always down.
Yeah.
Cool conversations.
I'll bring you on. You into like Marvel or anything? You into that stuff? Oh, shit. That's right. You have Stanley on your hand.
I have my whole left arm smart.
Oh, shit. I want to ask you now. Have you seen Multiverse of Madness yet?
I have, and I've seen every bit of content that's come out.
Okay.
Any Marvel content that has come out, I've watched it.
So the episode that's coming out tomorrow is me and the guy who I had on last night.
Oh, I'll be sure to watch it.
We sat down and talked about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me know when you post it.
It'll be live in an hour and a half.
Dope.
Yeah. So if you're still up, you can listen to it
I will
on
be.
Spotify and everything, whatever.
I go to bed at like 3.
Yeah. So you can give it a listen. It's only an hour and a half, so you can make it through. Yeah, dude. Thanks for coming on.
Absolutely.
Everybody, thanks for hanging out with us for I don't know, almost 2 hours ish. I don't know how long this one's going to end up being. Make sure you're following the Small Stuff Podcast on all social media platforms, like I said before at the top of the episode. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Comment, share the videos, like the videos. Make sure you follow Jacob on...
my IG is Sith and Single Needles. My name's Jacob Sloan. I work at Gary Skin Graphics on Memorial. Right down by Pitt Community College. You can't miss it. Big old U-Haul place across the street.
Right.
Yeah. Just check me out.
If you're in the area,
come
go
out
and get stuck.
Yeah.
All right, man. Thanks for coming on, guys. We will see you later.